Hello, now that I know I got your attention, in this video we're going to be looking at hardware, and we're going to be drawing comparisons between mainly the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and then looking wider to see how this may influence and restrict the industry in general. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Right, so the Xbox One, being made by Microsoft, is going to be more compatible with the kind of hardware and software that works on a desktop PC, like this external hard drive, for example. You can plug it into the Xbox One with the USB, but you cannot do this with the PlayStation 4. But wait, there's a bit more to this than that. Let's get a little bit more technical. There's been a lot of beef regarding the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One as to which one is better. So sit back and pour yourself a drink. Don't miss. Yeah, that's better. And we're going to break this down and get all technical. So let's talk about what they have in common. Both machines very similar CPUs, custom built and based on the AMD Jaguar. Another thing would be the cores. They both have 8 cores with a thread each, totaling 8 threads. The RAM is the same as well, 8 GB. However, there are differences in the bandwidth which affects the performance, which I'll be discussing next. So here is a list with the differences between the two consoles. Straight away you can see that the PlayStation 4 has a more powerful GPU. It has significantly higher programmable shaders, which increases the capabilities of lighting. It has more texture mapping units, which increases the rate of texture. In addition to this, the PlayStation 4 has twice as many raster operators, and these are responsible for processing and constructing the scenes. Even though for 1080p, 16 raster operators is adequate, the PlayStation is capable of taking things to that next level should it need to in the future. As mentioned earlier, both consoles have 8 GB of RAM, but a lot of this is used for the operating system, so there's only about 4 to 5 GB available for actual gaming. Now the bandwidth, the type of RAM, is different for both consoles. The PlayStation 4 uses a GDDR5, and that's unified memory, so that's including the GPU and the CPU and everything. The Xbox One, however, uses a DDR3, and that's separated from the graphics, because the GPU has its own unique ESRAM, which is 32 MB. Another thing as well is virtual memory. The PlayStation 4 has an additional 512 MB of virtual memory, which is added onto the 8 GB of RAM. This is memory that's taken from the hard drive if needed. Instead of spending all this time explaining the differences between the two, I could have just told you that the PlayStation 4 measures with a peak performance of 1.84 teraflops, whereas the Xbox One measures at 1.33 teraflops, which shows the PlayStation 4 to be the more powerful console. Well, at least you now know the reasons why. Pause. Now, I understand that the Xbox fans are going to be a bit hurt by this. You've spent all your money on this product and you're going to want to defend it. And yeah, okay. You might say that the Xbox is a more diverse multimedia entertainment system. I acknowledge that, but I don't care. When I buy a games console, it's to play games. That's the main thing. That's the reason I bought it. So I want whichever games console is more powerful, I want to feel the power. I want whichever one is superior, and the numbers don't lie. The PlayStation is more powerful than the Xbox. It's the superior product for playing games. I try to look at this from an unbiased perspective, and I have no favoritism between Microsoft and Sony. Simply, for this generation of games consoles, I believe the PlayStation 4 is better than the Xbox One. Despite winning this battle, some people may compare this to winning at the Special Olympics, and I'm going to elaborate exactly why that is. Depending on the money that you spend, you can buy a desktop PC that is better than the PlayStation 4 in pretty much every single way. It can have a better hard drive, 2 or 3 times as much RAM, a better CPU, a better graphics card. Okay, so here's a little question. What kind of influence do you think this will have upon the market? Here is the answer. Game developers design their games to work within the proximities of what the game consoles are capable of. This means that, to some extent, PC games are being held back by these technical limitations. Now, before I finish this video, I want to look at the hardware for a handheld device. So here's a PlayStation Vita. It's got a flash memory card for the hard drive. There's a 32-bit quad-core processor, which is pretty good, but the RAM is less than a gigabyte. It's very low. There is a PowerVR graphics card, which is the same one used in a Samsung Galaxy S4, and it's also used in the iPhone 4S. Along with the stereo speakers and microphone, when the PlayStation Vita originally came out, it had an OLED screen. This stands for Organic Light-Emitting Diode. This has since been replaced with an LCD screen, standing for Liquid Crystal Display. Sony decided to change the screen to an LCD because it was more energy efficient, allowing for the battery in the device to last longer. Alrighty now, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.